Okay, Newcaster viewers, how's it going? At a small error, I put the head into the mic slot and the mic in the headphone slot. So, headphone in the mic slot, mic in the headphone slot. So, that's kind of have some problems there. But, yeah, it's going to take me a while before this game's actually up. Because, one, I put it off for a bit just because it's really long. And it gets kind of slow at some parts. And I was just kind of tired from doing all those videos and losing it all. And then having to redo them again. And I don't know what Spelling is doing with his waypoint here. I guess he just wants to put it wherever. Usually, you know, it's standard to just put it on the minerals so those guys get to work right when they come out. But Spelling, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to do his own thing. He says, screw that. I'll show you guys how it's done. But anyways, this is a game between Spelling, who is a red Terran in the upper right corner, and KKS Shava, who I just call Shava, who is the blue Protoss in the upper left. Spelling was, what did I say? Lower? No, I said right corner. He's not even upper right or lower right. He's just right. Which is like, if you're doing the clock, it'd be 2 o'clock position. And Shava would be here at the 1 o'clock position. So that's what we got. I know last replay the sound effects were just too strong. I have this down to like 5%. I'll put it at 8. Had it at 20 on the last game, and they were still too loud. And I don't want to have to try and talk over the sound effects, or for the sound effects to drown out my voice, because sometimes this mic doesn't pick me up very well. So I got to keep those down a little low. Maybe I could turn on some music. Let's see. Hopefully this doesn't affect the quality or the replay. I don't want it to crash, but there we go. Now I got some tunes going for you. Yeah, turn those down a bit. Seems like when I turn them down, they don't get any quieter. 10. Because I don't want it to be too loud. And I am going to speed this up because this game is about an hour long. And this is just the intro. And I know there's a lot of dead space in this game. And it just gets kind of slow at some parts. So, I know. I apologize. But I'm not going to go through all this. I fast forwarded last time I posted it as well. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. But, plus, this is just like, whole point of these replays is just so people can kind of see some of the lower league players play and kind of see some of the strategies, the unique strategies they use in situations they get themselves into. It's kind of entertaining, and that's kind of the purpose of this, kind of get those replays out there. So, you know, it's not like this is a program or anything, and people are gonna lose a whole lot by getting the fast forward. And there's some Void Ray harass, and he was trying to charge up his Void Ray on this refinery, and so that's why he was shooting that first, and then he switched to the probes after he charged up his Void Ray to try and kill those, or the workers, the SCVs, try to kill those SCVs as quickly as possible. But he wasn't able to because these Marines did show up and drive it away. That is only one Void Ray, and I have 8 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. We got some Void Ray harass going there. Spelling is throwing up some missile turrets to try and deter these Void Rays, but he definitely has enough Marines to hold those Void Rays back, so it isn't going to be a problem, really. Here's Shava charged up on the engineering bay, I suppose, and these Marines do show up and drive it away again. There's one Void Ray here. This one's sneaking in the back now that one drew those Marines away, and now he's trying to destroy SCVs. He managed to kill a couple. That Void Ray now has 3 kills, but those Marines drive it back again. But their shields are still up, so Spelling isn't doing too much damage to his Void Rays. And he is definitely getting a lot of Marines. He has 2 barracks right now with reactor cores, and he's just pumping out Marines. He's got his engineering bay and his armory, and I imagine he's getting that armory so he can get his upgrades, because you can't get the level 2 upgrades until you get an armory. So Spelling is just focusing on a mass Marine army. He's not going for anything else. Marauders, siege tanks, nothing. The only reason he got this factory so he can get the armory, so he can get the upgrades for his Marines. And that's basically all he's doing. So it's not a strategy I've seen before, because it is risky because there are things like siege tanks and colossi, which will just melt Marines away. And you also, Zerg also have like ultralisks. Those are pretty dangerous against Marines. But roaches, no, not really. They got ultralisks and the guardians, the big flying guys who shoot the freaking broodlords, the broodlings. They shoot the broodlings. And so, yeah, those things are pretty effective against Marines as well. So, yeah, but, so here's Spelling getting just a ton of Marines, which for these board rays that, Shava is getting is the right unit. Shava's trying to get some more harassment in there, but is driven away by those Marines once again. So now we got some more of that dead space. But Shava attacking that supply depot, and he did manage to supply block Spelling there. Shava doesn't know that, but he did manage to supply block him, which was good, so that is going to set Spelling back a little bit. But he already has out a lot of Marines, and these Marines are the perfect counter to these Void Rays. So Shava's Void Ray rush here was basically thrown in his face just because, you know, Spelling is doing nothing but getting Marines. He got out of Siege Tank, so he finally has some, you know, mixture of his unit composition. Spelling trying to throw up a missile turret there, but it was stopped by those Void Rays. These Marines are coming in, driving away these Void Rays once again. These Void Rays trying to stay back and hit these Marines, but they just don't have the range. The Marines are still hitting them. This Marine has lost his shield, is in the yellow. But Shava's doing what he can, trying to kill as many Marines as possible, but the Void Rays are just the wrong unit type to fight Marines. And as far as production goes, he is getting his Twilight Council, which is going to let him get these upgrades here for his Zealots, but he has built a lot of Stalkers and Sentries, but he really needs to get out some Colossi, because Colossi are the perfect counter to Marines. I mean, they just destroy Marines. It's kind of insane the way they just kill Marines. But yeah, but he doesn't have any right now. He just has a bunch of Stalkers, and he's aware. I'm certain he's aware of what Spelling is up to. He sees he already has scouted these barracks, and when he was there, he was able to see all those Marines that Spelling had. But Spelling is still continuing to produce Marines because Shava hasn't quite gotten out the proper counter yet for those Marines. Stalkers aren't the best unit against Marines. These Sentries will do alright. They'll be able to throw some Guardian Shields and some Force Fields to try and break up those mobs of Marines, but I'm not sure if this is going to be enough to deal with all these Marines. Spelling has already put out, and he has been upgrading his Marines. He's on his attack is on level 2 and his armor is on level 1. So those Marines are a little bit upgraded. Shava doesn't have any upgrades for his units yet, but he is getting his expansion, which is a huge mistake on Spelling's part. He is throwing down his command center. He's probably going to try and take this middle island, but you gotta expand. I mean, you gotta get that expansion. You can't let your opponent choke you out. That's what makes this game so challenging, is that you gotta be able to have the right units, the right armies, the right composition, and all that stuff. At the same time, you gotta be able to expand and defend those expansions. And it just throws in such a unique element to the game that you won't find in any other game. So that supply depot is burning up right now. Yeah, there it goes. It's destroyed. And now these Marines are coming to drive away these Void Rays. We have our first engagement here: Mass Marines versus Shava's army mix here. Both sides decided to retreat. Neither felt too confident about that engagement. Those Marines probably would have done a number on this army composition here, just by sheer mass. Spelling doesn't appear to be producing. He's building some Medivacs, which is good with Mass Marines. Definitely extend the life expectancy of those Marines with some Medivacs up there, and improve their effectiveness. Spelling throwing down some more supply depots and some missile turrets over here to deter that Void Ray harass he's been getting earlier, just so his Marines would have more flexibility. They're not bound to guard in the base. Throwing up those turrets helped out there. Oh, Spelling they didn't decide to go for this middle expansion here. Probably would have been spotted by that Void Ray anyways. He's deciding to float down here. I don't know if he's going for this or this. I know I've seen this replay before, but I don't remember what he did with this command center. He's just kind of flown it away. It looks like he's going down here, but it's kind of off. His trajectory's a little off. It's going to end up down here, so I'm not sure what he's doing with this command center. Maybe the commander of the command center said, you know what? Screw this. I am out of here. You guys have fun. I am going back home. He's just leaving. He's sick of this battle. He doesn't feel like they can win, so he decided to just peace out. And now, mass medivacs, well, 4 medivacs, full of Marines. What do they carry? 8 Marines each. So, that's like 32 Marines. That's a lot of Marines. And he is going to drop into Shava's base. Shava has nothing here. He doesn't have any of his units to defend, as they all are right here, staged for an attack. But he was just kind of just standing outside. He has a lot of zealots here. If he were able to get all these units back to his base, he might be able to defend against these Marines. But instead, he chose to attack. And the problem is that he has this wall, and he has all these siege tanks, plus he attacked before these zealots were even able to get up there. Huge mistake on Shava's part. Half his army was destroyed before the zealots even got there, and these zealots, they're not even attacking, they're just trying to push through this wall, and they were just shredded by these siege tanks. And now all he got is these board rays, but those Marines all are dead, so he is fairly vulnerable to these board rays, or the one remaining board ray. But here comes some more Marines, as Shava does have the facilities in place to just start pumping Marines, and was able to drive away that board ray. So here's Spelling. Finally decided to land this command center. The deserter, he was a deserter. They finally were able to bring him back. I don't know, maybe they offered him some extra pay or something. So he came back, he landed here, and Spelling really needs to start producing some SCVs here, and he probably should transfer some down there as well, but he does have this wall, which would be difficult. But he does have drop ships, which he can transfer some SCVs with.